Alright guys, I'm back. If you're just turning in, hi guys, Lewted host here with another dang stream. We're going to be talking about the Slavs today. As you probably, or if you don't know, the Slavs are, easternmost, they are, whoa, very hard. Calm down there, buddy. Very hard, eh? Alright. So, basically this is just like the Eastern Roman Empire all over again. Anyway. The Slavs are, of course, immune to snow attrition, which makes sense. They have no colonization costs, which is historically accurate. And, they have 50% off the construction costs for main settlement buildings, which is nice. For the Slavs, you have to choose your battles carefully. They fight better in forests. They do really bad when they're on open grassland or open fields. They do pretty well against in river battles too. The Venetians don't have any negative effects from farms. Their economy mainly relies on farming and so on. Their income is plus 100% from farms, but they lose income from other things like commerce, industry, and culture. The Slovenians have no negative no negative debuffs or anything. They are good at fighting against the nomads. Like, all of these three Slavic factions are good against the Huns, but it's most likely going to be these guys that are your main Hunnic killers, even though they don't have the same cav. They have plus 20% when fighting against the nomads. That includes the Roxolanians, other nomadic factions. This doesn't include other hordes like the Great Migrators. They earn extra income for every enemy unit destroyed, which happens a lot. They have a plus 5 bonus for military presence. Let's look at the units themselves. They went over some of the units on the streams, but I missed most of the streams, so I didn't get to see everything. Oh yeah, by the way, the Garmachians also got added. Let me just look at them first. They are, of course, a desert kingdom. But they have the desert power trait. They have plus 1 fertility bonus in all provinces, minus 50% conversion time of the main chain of building. Same thing as the barbarian kingdoms, I think. Actually, no, overall. Yeah, the barbarian kingdoms have an overall building conversion rate of minus 50. They also have plus 50 morale when they're in their own or allied territory. Let's start with the Garmachians units, because in Rome 2 they weren't playable, but you could see their units through mods. Okay, so they have Desert Chieftain, Desert Warlord, that's okay. Desert Levy, cheap unit, not so good against huge cav units like big mass, very heavy cav units, especially the shock cav ones. Probably good as a supporting unit. Desert Spears, okay. And I think my mods got turned off, so I have to go. I'm gonna start that over afterwards. They have a plus 20 bonus versus cav, which makes sense. The Sharia Guard, I think, is new. They have good stats, good health. And some of the units, like in Age of Charlemagne, got changed too, like their stats. which is pretty interesting. And they apparently fixed the spear wall, shield wall bug, which is good. For melee infantry, you have Desert Tribesmen, probably not your best unit. They seem to be a more defensive or tanky type of unit. Desert Legionary Defectors are obviously Roman, so they have this Testudo. Desert Palatina Defectors are also Roman, and they have the same. They have a different Testudo, which is the mobile one, which actually is not an offensive one. Let me just check something really quick. It looks like they took off the bonus of they took off the attack bonus versus infantry, or the attack versus infantry bonus that the mobile Testudo had. And to confirm that, let's check the Visigoths. Yep, they took it off. Alright, let's go right into the Slavs then. Let's start with the Antians because they're first on the list. Warlord's Guard, excellent armor piercing damage, extremely high health. Or, as they consider it, high health. Good armor, and yeah. Slavic Levy Spears, basic Levy Spears, Slavic Spearmen, excellent attack versus Cav, probably 20. No, it's 30. Slavic Large Shields, most likely have a good missile block chance of 70. I think all three factions have it. Slavic Noble Spearmen, nothing too interesting. They do have lower health than the large shields though. Chosen Shields. They also have an excellent missile block chance. They have 80 armor, which is good. They have 30 attack versus Cav, 7 missile block chance. Good stuff. For melee infantry, you have Slavic Warriors. Your basic offensive units. 45 attack, 40 damage, 30 charge, 20 melee defense, 18 armor, 78 health. Slavic Champions, not so offensive, yet still pertain some offensive stats. They have Shield Wall, they have 47 melee attack, 40 weapon damage, and 14 charge, 128 health, pretty good. You have Perun's Champions, they have excellent armor, average missile block chance, and core armor piercing damage, 40 melee damage, 52 melee attack, which is really nice, 29 melee defense, 45 armor, 143 health. Pretty good. Now here comes the strong parts of the Slavs. Their axes. If you looked in the game files, or not the game files, the Total War Honga before you got the Slavic nations, if you got it, you know that the Slavs tend to rely more on their axes than anything else. Slavic X Levy, X armor piercing damage, obviously. Probably 10 armor bows versus infantry. Slavic Ambushers, as their name suggests, they have the guerrilla deployment. Slavic Axe Warriors, which, from what it seems, are going to be your main, your core unit, besides Slavic Champions, and probably even Slavic Warriors. Excellent armor piercing, excellent capture power. I think they have a capture power of 25. Let me just confirm. Yes, they have a capture power of 25. Missile block chance is 25 as well. Not the best. Slavic Axemen. They cost the same as Axe Warriors. But they only have 2 more speed, which is weird. But they cost the same. They cost the exact same, but are statistically worse. Case in point, don't bring Slavic Axemen, because they have less capture power and the same missile block chance. There's spotting. Yeah, everything's the same. Perun's axes, probably like Perun's champions. They all cost the same. All four of these units cost the same, but they have different uses. These guys are better overall than... They have one less health point than the Axe Warriors, but they are overall better. I think this was a mistake on CA's part. I think they're going to change it, but who knows. When it comes to bow infantry, Levy archers, Slavic hunters. These Slavic hunters have a new ability called Stealth of the Hunter, which increases their range by 90. And so that actually gives them more range than I think longbow hunters, because their range is already 150, and so that would bring it up to about 240. Poison archers have a different type of round than regular. They only have poison shot, that's their only ammunition. Poisons the target unit, causing casualties over time. The base damage is 12, armor piercing is 2, but it lasts for 10 seconds, which is pretty interesting. Poison hunters have the same thing, except they have one more ammunition. Probably not worth the 100 talent increase. Skirmishers, you already know what they're for. Slavic noble skirmishers seem like a good unit. Now, here's the interesting thing with the Anteans. Where's their melee calves? I don't see any, which means that they don't have any. Slavic raiders, all of these are Jav Cav, obviously. All have the same purpose. Nothing too special or new here. These two have the raider trait. These guys don't, which is interesting. And artillery. So their strengths seem to rely more on their archers. They have good infantry, especially their axes, which are good for killing infantry. Their weaknesses seem to be that they don't have any melee cav. That sucks. Oh well, let's check the other two factions. Start with the Sclavinians. Yes, we went over these units. They have the same units. Warlord's Guard, we already went over that. Slavic Warriors, we went there. Now we did that. Horse Cutters, this is a new unit. They seem to be effective against cavalry, and that's true. They have a plus 10 attack against cav, which would make sense. They're horse cutters. They also have cavalry counter tactics, which is nice. Then there's the horse butchers, which do the same thing. They seem to be very effective against cavalry, which is great. Basic archers, basic javelins. Again, no horse cav. This might be something that's common with the Slavic factions. I'm not sure. Their strengths seem to be in their anti-cavalry units, however, something that the Anteans don't have. With the Venetians, there's the Warlord's Guard. You have your basic spear units, basic sword units. We went over these.